Hi, Jenni here. And recently I saw a creator share a video of all the journals and notebooks they use for writing down their thoughts, planning videos, planning their life, and so on. And they had several notebooks and journals, and that's very, very impressive. And if they have time to use all of them, that's really great. But I also wanted to share my notebooks and the journals that I use for, you know, keeping track of my life and writing down my thoughts on books I read and so on. The first one is my diary. I like to have a thin diary because it doesn't feel so intimidating to write down my feelings and thoughts. I don't know if that makes any sense. This is made in Finland, which is very important. And yeah, it has a little sketch version of Little Moo in the cover. She's holding a big strawberry, and I've had this type of notebook before as well with Little Moo in the cover. I just love her so much, and yeah, I really love using this type of thin notebooks. I don't write my diary every day, but maybe like 4 or 5 times a week, and I usually just recap what I've done and like how I feel and how my brain is doing, which is not great. And I write my diary in Finnish and in English. I know a lot of people will hate me for doing that right now. Sometimes English comes naturally first, sometimes Finnish, depends on the topic as well. And one downside is that the first time I had this type of notebook as a diary, the pages were just full on paper. But these are a bit plasticky, and that's really disappointing. But I've gotten used to it. But I feel like for my next diary, I will try to look for a different type of notebook. And yeah, I really like that these are really quick to fill up. I don't feel a lot of pressure about writing into it. When I was younger, maybe like 18, 17, I had a diary that was like this thick, and I filled it with photos, tickets, all kinds of different memorabilia, and that was really fun. It was really fun to decorate the pages and add my memories and print out photos, but I don't know, in this moment in life, I just need a notebook where to write and vent. I'm not really a calendar person. I utilize my phone's calendar most of the time. When I was still working, I am not now, I did use a calendar to mark down all my work stuff, all my lessons and tutoring and so on. And I actually got the calendar from my job, from my union. But now that I don't work, I haven't really used a calendar. Last autumn, and still, but especially last autumn, I was going through a really tough time. And I reached out to a psychiatric nurse, and she suggested about having a calendar and just writing down the easiest to-do list that I can, just like I put my socks on and so on to get out of the ruts. And I decided to try it. So here's my calendar for this year. Obviously I was using a different calendar during autumn. Again, made in Finland. It has a painting of Albert Järnefeld in the cover, and it looks so beautiful. It has a lot of different paintings. Actually, it's really nice to look at. They are really soothing to look at as well. And basically, I just keep up with all of my hobbies here. And if I'm going somewhere, I usually write down when I'm filming, when I'm editing, when I have dance, when I have my Greek lessons, and when I will do my Greek homework. I usually just fill it all up on a Monday evening. And yeah, I'm not saying that it's a game changer for me, but it is a beautiful calendar, and I will try my best to utilize it. And this is the last notebook I have. This is not, unfortunately, certified made in Finland, but it has these really beautiful golden details and lilac blue details, and it says notes on the cover in gold. And I use this notebook to write about the books I read. Not about every single one of them, but if the book really resonated with me, I will try to write. I will add the date and then write my thoughts. I've actually shared this on my Instagram posts along with reviews. And I think it's just a really nice way to take a moment to really sit with what you've read and what you think about what you've read. And it really also like slows down the consumption aspect of reading. I've been reading a lot slower intentionally this year and I'm loving it. Before I used this for book related writing, I wrote like a short little essays here and there, but I didn't keep up with it, to be honest. Yeah, the goal is to write about books every now and then, obviously not about every single book, but it's also a way to exercise handwriting and writing in a coherent manner. I have always written down some notes, like bullet points about each book I've read on Google Docs, and this is kind of the elevated version of that. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this quick video about the notebooks and journals I use. I do think it's really important to write things down and like practice handwriting and taking the time to reflect on your life and day and the books you've read. I really hope that more people do that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye!